Okay, so I'm on here to talk about my healing journey. It's definitely been a journey. I've been on several journeys, but it was put on my heart to get on here and talk to you guys about some of the resources that I use, like in each of my journeys along the way. Um, First thing is the Word. So this is my one of my Bibles that I have is the New King James. I have other study Bibles. I just got a Tony Evans study Bible. Use that to study, highlight, different things like that. But I'm also going to share like a couple different books that I've read like along each journey that I've been on. I'm going to talk about this one first. It's called The Heart Talk. This is just like it's a short book. It's a little over 200 pages. And it's just like, it has like little snippets of like thoughts, which I think is cute. But this is something that like, if you're at work and you need like something to uplift your spirit, this would be good to like keep in your desk drawer. I used to work in a call center and I had like a couple of different devotionals like in my desk drawer to help me get through those calls. But this one is really good, The Heart Talk. And I actually seen this on something on Instagram, like somebody else talking about this. I saw this book, but it's really good. I've actually like read it a couple of times because it's so short. When I was in like super, 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 super deep depression, when I didn't know, from one day to the next, this book, Joyce Meyer's, The Battlefield of the Mind, this book is the truth. Talks about a lot of different things, and you just have to get it. Like, if you're into Joyce Myers, if you're in a deep, deep, dark, dark place right now, I would recommend The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. The next book is Emotional Detox. So I've read this book like off and on. Some books I'll like start to read and I'll put it down, start to read and put it down. This is kind of like I need to detox my life type of book. So like right now, when I go to the gym, I'm usually like listening to Jeezy and Gucci and, Future and all of that. But right now I'm listening to strictly Christian artists as I'm working out. That's just the walk that I'm on right now. But this is like if you need to like detox your life, like decluttering your space, taking like Epsom salt baths, changing like music, your thought patterns, different things like that. This Emotional Detox this is a really good book. If you're having things that are like happening like back to back to back, like what is going on? I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. This Priscilla Schreier, The Armor of God. This is like a workbook, but it's really good. And it comes with like prayer cards on the back that you can like tear out for like strategy, like your different prayer strategies. I actually used this when I started my journey of weight loss in 2018. I would actually write my grocery list on these prayer cards and pray over those cards because that's how serious I was about losing weight. I think there's also like a study book that comes with it too. But yeah, this is, if you're going through like warfare, different things like that, putting on the full armor of God, this is the book for you. A couple of weeks before my husband had passed away, I got this book by Joyce Myers, Healing the Soul of a Woman. And when I started reading it, I just couldn't get into it. So I just put it up. And so I'm kind of like that with books because I will like see a book and I'm like, oh, this is good. And if I can't get into it, like at that moment, I'll like put it up and then eventually I'll come back around to it. Well, after I bought this book a couple weeks later, my husband passed away and I need this book. if you've had a spouse that has passed away, a significant other, somebody very close to you, this book right here is really good. And not even like if you had somebody pass away. If you've been through some hard things, get the book. Also another thing that helped me is journaling. So I am a journaler. I've always been a journaler. I've always like journaled my feelings. That's just who I am. However, I will say that journaling has helped me throughout the years, like in the different seasons of life that I've been in. So in 2023, I published this journal called Greater. So the journal is actually empty pages, but it has affirmations at the top of each page. And so they come in a hard copy and a paper copy as well. So like this is the like the author's copy. That's why I have like this gray thing across it. But I wrote down like all of my prayers in this journal. So from 2023 to 2024, I wrote down all of my prayers. Every single prayer request that I had written in this book was answered. I don't know if it was the timing. I don't know if it was the season. I'm not sure. I can't even ask God. But what I do know is that there's a correlation of writing things down, because I will say, like, you never know when you may have to go back to it. There were prayers that I wrote down in 2018 that I need today. Definitely need today. So I would recommend writing. People are always like, I don't know what to write. You know what? There were times when I just wrote 3 or 4 lines. There were times when I was crying my eyes out, and literally the only thing that I wrote on the page was help, SOS. There were times where I couldn't write anything and my tears just filled the pages. If you're not a writer, I would just urge you to just give it a try, see what happens. If anything, write a letter to yourself, write a letter to your children, write a letter to your spouse, your significant other. I know people that write letters to spouses that they don't even have yet, just preparing for their spouse when they get, come into their life. The season that I'm in right now, I'm reading this book called Experiencing God. So I saw this book on like a blog that I was reading, and they said that they were reading this book with their church. And this book like takes a minute to read because it has questions, but I think like where I'm at in my journey, this book is like much needed, because I did grow up in the church. Like I'm in a season of like knowing God again, like in this season that I'm in. So like I went through the grieving process. I went through the healing process. I go see my therapist, and I'm just like at a place of like peace. And so like I'm getting to know God again, like in the different space that I'm in right now. So this book is been awesome. Like 10 out of 10, will definitely recommend this book. And I think I recommended this is a daily devotional until today. And this is, like I said, just a daily devotional. Read 1 page every day if you were that type that, enjoys devotionals. And I just think that like devotionals are usually like if you pick a devotional, it's usually like on time, like with whatever, you're going through or important to that day. So I've been talking for 9 minutes. But if you need help, if you need suggestions, if you want to chat, drop me a message, let me know. I'm here to help in any way. I just want people to be well. I want people to heal. I want people to enjoy life here on earth. So you guys be amazing and have a great evening.